Vladimir Putin's story begins on October 7, 1952 in Leningrad, a city still carrying the scars of the Second World War. Few could have imagined that this child would one day become one of the world's most influential political leaders. By 1960, Putin was growing up in a modest communal apartment in Leningrad. His childhood was shaped by the difficult experiences of his family and the realities of life in the post-war Soviet Union. As a young teenager, Putin began practicing judo and sambo. Martial arts taught him discipline, patience, self-control, and the importance of using strategy rather than strength alone. In 1970, Putin entered Leningrad State University to study law. His education would become an important step toward a future career in government, intelligence, and politics. 5 years later, Putin graduated with a degree in law. His university years were over, but a very different and secretive chapter of his life was about to begin. After graduation, Putin joined the KGB, the Soviet Union's main security and intelligence agency. This decision placed him on a path that would influence his leadership style for decades. In 1985, Putin was assigned to Dresden in East Germany. As a KGB officer, he worked there during the final years of the Cold War and witnessed a rapidly changing Europe. By 1990, Putin had returned to Leningrad as the Soviet system moved closer to collapse. His intelligence career was ending, and a new opportunity was beginning to emerge. In 1991, Putin entered the world of local government in St. Petersburg. Working within the city administration marked his first major step from intelligence into politics. In 1996, Putin moved to Moscow and joined the presidential administration. His influence grew quickly as he became part of Russia's national government. By 1998, Putin had been appointed director of the FSB, the main successor to the KGB. This powerful position brought him closer to the highest levels of Russian leadership. In August 1999, Vladimir Putin became Prime Minister of Russia. Although he was still unfamiliar to many people, his rise to national power had begun. In 2000, Putin was elected President of Russia. The former intelligence officer had completed a remarkable rise from the streets of Leningrad to the Kremlin. 4 years later, Putin was elected to a second presidential term. His position became stronger and his influence over Russia continued to grow. In 2008, Putin left the presidency because of constitutional term limits and became prime minister. Even outside the presidential office, he remained one of the most powerful figures in the country. In 2012, Vladimir Putin returned to the presidency. This marked the beginning of another major chapter in his long political career. In 2018, Putin was elected to another presidential term. Nearly 2 decades after first rising to national leadership, he remained at the center of Russian politics. In 2024, Putin won another presidential election and began a new term in office. His leadership had now extended across several decades and major changes in world politics. Today, Vladimir Putin remains President of Russia and one of the most recognized and influential political figures in the world. From a child growing up in post-war Leningrad to a judo student, KGB officer, Prime Minister and President, his journey has become one of the most remarkable and controversial political stories of the modern era.